Thanks for listening to Live Forever Young Radio. My name is Raleigh Culp. I am here with Bob. How's it going, Bob?
Going well, and thank you also for those of you who are watching on YouTube, either live right now or on the replay. Welcome to all of you also. I'm doing great, Raleigh. We are in a wonderful time of year.
Yes.
With the hockey playoffs.
It is.
With the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I know.
And even though there's been two squeakers.
Yep.
The Lightning still have a chance
they
to
still
advance
do.
to the next round.
And they're at home tonight.
With a tiny little bit of luck, like just save for the ages by the goalie from
spinning around.
Right.
It's crazy.
It was crazy.
It was a good save.
Won that game.
It was a good save.
I was thinking about you when I saw this.
I was crying.
I was like, well, not only that, but I was thinking you used to be a goalie.
Yes.
And it's like, I'll bet you Raleigh could make a save like that.
Yeah, back in the day, I'm sure I could have. But yeah, no, to be honest with you, we're hoping tonight that the Thunder will be with the Lightning because they're at home. So they'll have the Thunder behind them, and they'll get their 2 games at home and then go and hopefully win the rest.
There you go. What a great time of year.
Anyways, welcome again to Live Forever Young Radio. The topic we are talking about today is this really cool technology that NASA uses to help astronauts recover from the negative effects of being in space. We're going to tell you how to get it, and we're going to tell you how it will benefit you. So, Bob, I know that you've done a lot of research on this stuff, so I want to throw it to you and tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, not only have I done research, but so has Ann Harrison,
yes,
who works with us here at Boomers. And I also have one of these mats now for about 6 years that I've been using it. I know how to use it and what the benefits are and everything. But Ann was the one who told us about it at Boomers. She discovered it. And this is a technology that's been around for many years. In fact, it goes all the way back to 1978 when this type of pulsed force technology was approved by the FDA, and it was originally approved for helping heal broken bones.
Oh, wow.
That were very difficult to heal. And it was a huge breakthrough because prior to that, they had to go through all types of machinations to try to heal broken bones, and a lot of people had to have amputations when those techniques didn't work. When this technology was invented and approved, it helped tremendously, but now they've expanded it. So it's not just for healing broken bones. It helps with all kinds of things, including your circulation, particularly your microcirculation, which we'll talk about, and also your stem cells.
Okay.
It helps to get your stem cells going and circulating as well, which is one of the main ways human beings regenerate themselves over time.
Yeah, stem cells. A lot of the time, people don't realize this, but a majority of your stem cells come from your hips.
Yeah.
And I believe your nose.
Yep.
Right? And so,
you got it.
Especially as you get older and your bones get brittle, breaking something like a hip can be really a problem. So to know that this stem cell and circulation mat can actually help with the healing process.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, make more new stem cells is really cool.
So, people might be thinking right now, well, how does this thing work? Like, what do you mean a mat?
Right.
Well, the mat is actually about this wide. It's about maybe 28 to 30 inches wide.
Okay.
And it's about 6 feet long.
Okay.
And you put it underneath your mattress pad, or you put it on a chair, preferably like a fluffy, easy chair. You don't want it on a hard chair because you don't want to damage the sensitive electronics. Most people just put it under their mattress pad, and there's a power supply that's about this big, and it's plugged into the mat. And you hit a few buttons, turn it on, and you lie on it for 8 minutes, and it increases your circulation and revs up your stem cell power.
Okay.
Your circulation improves almost 30%.
Wow.
Now, this is very important because when people age, their circulation gets less and less. There's reasons for that, which we'll get into. But when your circulation gets less, all kinds of problems begin to happen. First, your brain doesn't function as well.
Right.
Because you're not getting the right nutrients and you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. And quite often, when people are getting dementia, if they begin to use this circulation mat, it gets better.
Okay.
But also circulation to your periphery, particularly your lower legs and your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Quite often, as people age, they get this poor circulation. They start to have blood and lymph fluid pooling in their feet, and they have difficulty healing any wounds. If they cut their foot, it's hard for it to heal.
Mm-hmm.
If people have diabetes, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Like, my dad has diabetes, and not anymore. He's been using the products, and it's helped a lot.
So your dad, you were saying that your dad has diabetes and poor circulation.
Yes.
And he hasn't had been able to use the stem cell and circulation mat, but he's been using some of the Boomer products that helped with his circulation as well.
Yes.
Right. So he's done incredibly well for somebody, with diabetes.
Right.
But other people do not do so well. People with diabetes tend to die younger.
Mm-hmm.
They end up with heart disease. They end up having strokes more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
They end up with problems with their extremities, as we were saying.
Right.
And this is a particularly good technology for people with diabetes. But as people age, they also tend to get more susceptible to these adult onset diseases.
Right.
And they're related to circulation.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Actually.
Related to circulation. So we mentioned about Ann Harrison before, and Ann is the author of this book called Rev Up Your Adult Stem Cell Power. And the reason she wrote this book is she got very interested in stem cells many years ago and did all this research and talked with different people and doctors. There's actually a story in here about a doctor who was Dr. Neugebauer.
Okay.
And he had all kinds of benefits that occurred in his body when he started using some of the techniques in the book that Ann wrote.
Okay.
And this predated Ann's discovery of the circulation mat from the scientists over in Europe that invented it.
Interesting.
Right? And so with the circulation mat and all the other techniques in Ann's book, it's really great. Here's the good news. If people want to know more about this mat,
yes,
they can actually call us here at Boomers Forever Young and ask to speak to Ann, the author of the book. And Ann has become an expert in these circulation mats.
Years.
And the stem cell circulation
She's
mat
spent many
over years and traveling to Europe, attending all of these clinical conferences, so that when someone calls in, she's very, very well educated and capable of giving people the information they need about these incredible circulation mats.
Yeah, I've spoken with a lot of people who've actually gotten in touch with Ann about the circulation mat. And not only does she's really good at providing the support, because, you get something new, you want to kind of have somebody to walk you through it a little bit. So she's great at that. And then the benefits that they start to experience are nice to hear when they call in.
Yeah.
So that's really pretty cool.
And Dr. Vic Neugebauer, he experienced a lot of regeneration when he started using Ann's techniques. And now with the addition of this mat on top of it, people are getting even better results. And part of it is because as people age, their circulation goes down, particularly in the microcirculation. So our circulatory system of our blood starts with large arteries, and then they get progressively smaller, and to the point where they're microscopic. The capillaries are microscopic, and that's where the interchange happens with the oxygen and nutrients, is in those tiny little capillaries are transporting nutrients and oxygen into the cells.
Okay.
And so the degradation of your microcirculation as you age is a very big part of aging.
Right.
So because you have to circulate oxygen and you have to circulate nutrients,
right,
and you have to circulate stem cells.
Right. And you could take a bunch of nutrients and be making a ton of stem cells, but if you can't get them and circulate them throughout the body, they're not going to do what they need to do, right?
That's right. And so this is why a mat like this is so important, and especially as you look at what happens with humans as they age, your ability to have those little capillaries expand and contract becomes less. And your heart can only pump blood with the force of its heartbeat to about 25%, the first 25% of your circulatory system.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, the other 75%, requires arterioles and capillaries to expand and contract. And they do it in a number of ways, but one of the main ways is there are these pulsed forces that are coming from the core of the earth.
Okay.
And we evolved in this field that's created, and our bodies have photoreceptors, particularly on the lining of the inside of our arteries.
Okay.
Then the pulses hit those, and it forces your capillaries to expand.
Okay.
And as we age, we become less sensitive to those pulses.
Okay.
And so that's a big part of why our circulation drops off.
So
now the mat and the power supply are mimicking those pulses.
Okay, so that's
bringing it right close to you. So now all of a sudden, it's like you're in this
rejuvenates it.
Yeah, you're in this more powerful force, and your body is able to respond better than the more distant force, which is coming from the core of the earth.
Got you. So as you age, obviously you stop making a lot of what you're supposed to, but you also become less sensitive to these forces from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, the heart only pumps so much to so far.
Yeah.
And if it can't get to the little capillaries and deliver it, it's a problem. So this mat actually mimics the forces that cause these capillaries to vasodilate, is essentially, right?
Yeah.
And so that helps to push it through the circulation of the blood and the nutrients and the oxygen and everything that you need, and the stem cells.
Yeah. So
now we call this a space age technology, NASA technology. I don't think astronauts are very, as far as I know, astronauts aren't very old. So why is this helping astronauts so much?
Well, when astronauts go into space, they're in a different environment because they're in a zero gravity environment, number one. And secondly, they're much farther away from the pulses that are coming from the core of the earth.
Right. That makes sense.
And these types of pulses diminish over distance.
Okay. They
exist in theory in infinity, but it gets weaker and weaker the farther away you go.
Okay.
So when an astronaut is up at the space station for a year, their body deteriorates because of these factors.
Also, there's no weight, so there's no resistance.
Yeah. So they have to do resistance against stretch band, where they pull with one hand against the other. But gravity itself is what helps make people strong, because we have to resist gravity.
Right.
Because if we didn't resist gravity, it would just pull us down onto the ground.
Right.
But just the fact that we're sitting up or standing up means we're using muscles to resist gravity.
Constantly. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
And so when an astronaut is in low gravity and low force from the Earth's core, their circulation suffers. And so they use this technology with the astronauts.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. I mean,
but the good thing is that people like us can get one of these,
right?
And we don't need to have a doctor's order to get one.
No.
They've been using them in Europe for many, many years. In Europe, you have all the hospitals, all the ambulances, all the clinics. They have these mats everywhere. In the United States, 1 million people have them in their homes, and they are in clinics also. there's a couple of clinics here in our county, here in Pinellas County, that have these, and people can go for an occasional treatment, but it's not the same as having it every day because you need to use it twice a day.
To get the full benefit?
Yeah, because the effect lasts for about 14 hours.
Okay.
And so you want to use it when you first wake up in the morning. You turn it on before you get out of bed. You lie there, relax, get ready for the day and get your circulation and your stem cell circulation charged up. And then you use it again before you go to bed at night. And this way you have coverage
throughout the 24-hour
period.
I also understand that it's actually really good for athletes.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes use this. It's kind of like a secret for some of the best athletes.
A lot of very famous athletes, the best football players, the best golfers.
A lot of golfers
use them.
Yeah. I mean, it speaks volumes because, sports in general tear your body up, and to think that there's a way to increase the circulation, and a lot of the athletes, they intake nutrition. They have a regiment that they stick to. So to be able to get the most benefit from that regiment of nutrients, vitamins, whatever it is that they're taking, it knows it's being utilized. Being able to utilize these things is the key. Yeah. And so increasing the circulation is what makes that absorption and utilization happen.
Very important for athletes and very important for non-athletes as well. As you age,
right,
you produce less and less stem cells by a lot as you get older.
Absolutely.
And the mat also helps you to keep those level of stem cells up.
Well, that's what helps with the repairing of the body, right? Because, you're constantly through oxidation and inflammation of the body. You're constantly being broken down, and the things that help rebuild it, well, there's many things, but stem cells are a key part. So if it's not making as much and you're getting older, let's increase it. Let's rev them up, as Anna would say. Let's rev up your stem cells.
Raleigh, in another show, we can do a show about nutrition and stem cells. Ann has helped us with that before. Your stem cells need nutrition also.
Everybody,
and we'll do a whole show about that because that's a whole nother
topic
about what the mat is helping you circulate.
Right.
And so when Ann first came to me, I said to her, Ann, this is wonderful. This can help with circulation because you can have all the greatest nutrition and a high level of oxygen, but if you can't circulate it, you're not going to get the full benefit. It'll help somewhat, but if we can also add in circulation improvement, now you're really going to have something great.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And that's when we started helping people to get these mats. And we felt, quite a few people be able to get these mats that have had great results. Numerous doctors that we've helped to get them that have been using them personally.
For years. Yeah.
And
a lot of people we know that have had the tingling in their hands or in their feet from diabetes. Like I was mentioning, like my dad, they were able to, those extreme cases were able to make a really good turnaround. You can actually go on boomerboost.com. If you're interested in getting some information about the circulation mat, the stem cell circulation mat, go to boomerboost.com and go all the way down to the lower footer. And there's actually a button you can click on that says stem cell mat contact request. It'll be a form you can fill out, and then we'll have somebody contact you back with some really good information, not just what it does, but how to get it. Because, like you said, it's something you can get without a doctor's order, but it's FDA approved, and it's a good thing.
And Ann's really creative at helping people be able to afford the monthly payment to get these mats. These are medical devices, and they're FDA approved. And you'll need to talk to Ann about the benefit for you particularly. She'll talk to you about your issues and what it can help you with, and how to go about getting it so it doesn't break the bank.
There you go. And also, too, if you have a family, you can use it on other people. It's a mat, so you can allow others to use it and experience the benefit, too.
And we have a person we know right now who had broken her shoulder and has been using one of the attachments. It's not the mat itself, but the power supply. You can plug in special attachments, and she's used it to help heal her broken shoulder much faster than it would have otherwise healed.
That's great.
And the doctors and physical therapists are very impressed how fast her shoulder has healed.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what, like you said, that's what it was founded for in the first
Originally
place.
for.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a different pulse for the healing
Uh-huh.
than it is for the circulation, but there's attachments and different functions with this special device as well.
All good stuff. Make sure you either
Yep.
give us a call or go to boomerboost.com. Here's the number right here, 1-800-861-4609. Or again, you can go and fill out the stem cell contact request form on boomerboost.com. But it's definitely something that warrants a little bit of your time, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Raleigh, thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to Live Forever Young Radio Live. We'll see you on the next show.